Hey everybody. Okay, so it's time to get started. We did problems 1, 2, 3, 4, and up to 5 in the class today. So I'm going to go over this one really quickly. We talked about, and you had your notes that we did today, perimeter, and we know that the perimeter is adding all sides together, right? So the P equals um, length plus width plus length plus width. If I know that this is a square, I only need to know is one dimension because then I know that this is 5 meters, that this is 5 meters, and this is 5 meters. I can skip count 5, 10, 15, 20, or I can plug in the numbers for the perimeter equals 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5, or I know that it's 5 times 4 groups of 5 that equals 20 meters. Okay? Let's find over here to volume. Again, this is done in class, so it's length times width times height. I'm going to plug in my numbers at 4 times 6 times 3, of 24 times 3, and that makes it at 72 cubic feet. All right, let's go to the next one. We're looking for the unknown. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to walk away so fast. All right, so unknown measurements. If it's giving me the area and I have a length, then I'm missing my width. So I'm going to write down my formula of area equals length times width. My area is 150 equals the length is 15 times my W. And so I can think of it this way. There's a couple of ways. 15 times what will give me 150? That's 10. Or I can always divide 15 by 15. That will move it over. And 15 goes into 150 10 times. So 10 equals W, and W equals 10 meters. This next one here, I'm given the perimeter. So P equals 42 inches. So if this is 42 equals, I have 7, so it's 2 times 7 plus 2 times W. It's my width. So I have 14 plus 2W. I need to move this to this side, so I'm going to subtract this out. That makes it 0. Bring it over here, subtract out. 42 minus 14. I'm going to regroup. 12 minus 4 equals 8. 3 minus 1 equals 2. And I bring this down here. This is plus 2W. So now I'm going to have 28. I need to move this 2 over, so I'm going to divide that to make that into a 1. So 28 divided by 2 is going to equal to 14. So 14 equals W. And so this is going to be 14 inches. So here, this is 14 inches, and this is 14 inches, and then 17. Okay, and that's what we did in class today. This next one, you were supposed to work out the problem. Volume equals length times width times height, and everybody started on this one here. So Jan is mailing the package shown at the right. He needs to find the volume of the package so he can decide what size bag of packing materials to buy to fill the package. What is the volume of the package? So now I'm going to insert the numbers. So I have 18 times 16 times 24. I'm going to get a scratch sheet of paper, and I'm going to multiply 18 times 16. 6 times 8 equals 48. Regroup my 4. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 4 is 10. I'm done with my ones, and I'm going to put a 0 for my hero. Starting in the tens, 1 times 8 equals 8. 1 times 1 is 1. And now I'm going to add those up. 8, 8, 2. So I have 288. I'm going to take my 288, I'm going to multiply that by 24, because that is my height. Remember, that's how many rows you have. 24 rows going up. If this part confuses you, remember that you can break this up to 20 plus 4. And so I'm going to take my 288 times 20. I'm going to put my 0 on the outside because anything multiplied by 0 is 0. And then 288 times 4. These are my partial products, and then I will add those together. So I'm going to multiply this. This is going to be doubled up. 2 times 8 equals 16. I regroup my 1. 2 times 8 is 16 plus 1 is 17. Regroup. 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1 is 5. Now the second portion, 4 times 8 equals 32. I'm going to regroup. 4 times 8 is 32, 33, 34, 35. Bring down my 1, regroup. 4 are the tens, and then regroup that. 4 times 2 is 8, 9, 10, 11. Now I'm going to need to add up these two together. So I'm going to bring this down below. 1, 1, 5, 2. Line them up according to my place value. 2 plus 0 is 2. 5 plus 6 is 11. Regroup. 7, 8, 9, and 5, 6. So my answer is going to be 6,912. And because I'm dealing with dealing with volume, it's going to be, and then I put cubes in to fill that up, then it's going to be on cubic centimeters. So it's 6,912 cubic centimeters. Okay, so it was a lot of work that needed to be done. I'm going to start testing you on your multiplication facts, so please be ready. And if you're not, make sure that you are studying. A classroom floor will be covered. Okay, there's that key word. It's covered with carpet. So I'm looking at that area. Remember, I got to cover this floor. Which formula is needed to find the amount of carpet needed? Okay, perimeter, I'm going to write border. Volume, that's going to be capacity. Perimeter, again, that's border. And then the area, I'm going to write the word covered because that's the inside. So the answer is C. This is a really good thing to start doing so that you can help yourself remember these keywords to tell you what you're going to need to do. A storage locker measures 5 feet by 6 feet by 14 feet. How much space in the warehouse will the storage locker occupy? Okay, so I need to, that space. It's capacity. This is another one. Space, filled, or filled space. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and go to my scratch sheet of paper. I'm going to go to number 7 here, and I'm going to write down my formula. V equals length times width times height. So I have 5 times 6 times 14. Five times 6 is 30 times 14. So here I have 14 times, I'm going to put my 3 here, move my 0 out because I know that anything multiplied by 0 is 0. 3 times 4 is 12. Regroup my 1. 3 times 1 is 3 plus 1 is 4. So the answer is going to be 420 cubic, and the unit of measure is feet. So the answer is A. Go. Let's look at number 8. The diagram below shows the number of square tiles on a playhouse floor. Okay, so we're looking at that floor again. That tells me its area. So if you needed to remember floor, carpet, all of those key things to tell you. The length and width of one tile are labeled in inches. So this here is going to be 12. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is going to be 12 times 4 tiles. And that equals to what? Very good, 48 inches. This is 12, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is going to be 12 times 5 tiles, and that's going to be 60 inches. What is the total area of the playhouse floor? Area equals length times width. So here I'm going to have 60 times 48. I'm going to take my scratch sheet of paper, which you should be doing as well. This is for number 8. 48 times 60, bring up my 0, because anything multiplied by 0 is 0. 6 times 8 equals 48. 6 times 4 is 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. And the total amount is 2,880 square inches. So the answer is C. Let's go to the next one. Multi-step problem. At Hal's shipping store, the cost of mailing a box increases as the size of the box increases. This I know. I've had to do a lot of mailing out. So Ming mails a box that measures 11 inches by 12 inches by 9 inches. Okay, I'm pretty familiar with that size. Eli mails a box that measures 12 inches by 14 inches by 6 inches. Ah, okay. So which statement is correct? Ming's cost is less than her box has less volume. All right, well, let me first find out then, what is the volume of the boxes? Let me look at this next one. Ming's and Eli's cost are the same because the boxes have the same volume. I wonder if they do. Eli's cost is greater because his box has greater volume, or Ming's cost is greater because her box has greater volume. Well, let's find out. So I'm coming over to question number 9. I'm going to take Ming's box, and volume equals length times width times height. I'm going to plug in the numbers 11 by 12 by 9. Remember that this multiplication sign also means by. And we talked about that, back in September. So you can't forget these things that you have already been taught and that you've learned, because this stays with you. Then I'm going to take a look at Eli. I'm trying to think how I want to do the work. I'll do it this way. Eli's box. Volume equals length times width times height. And his box is 12 times 14. And then the word is by 6. And this is all in measurements of inches. All right, so let me go ahead and multiply this first one. 11 times 12, that is 2, 2, 0, 1, 1. So I have 132. And that one we should have already known, right? But I wanted to show my work. And then I have my 132 times 9. 9 times 2 equals 18. 9 times 3 is 27, plus 1 is 28. 9 times 1 is 9, 10, 11. All right, so here for the volume, I have a 1,188 cubic inches. That's the volume for Ming's box. Let's look over here at Eli's. 12 times 14. 4 times 2 equals 8. 4 times 1 equals 4, so that's 48. Becomes a 0. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 1 is 1. I'm going to add these up. I'm going to bring this over here. We'll see that's 8, 4, 5, 6, and 1. So I have 168 times 6. 6 times 8 equals 48. 6 times 6 is 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 4 is 10. Ah, well, look at that. Who has the largest volume? You can already see Ming has the largest volume. So I'm going to do this. Ming is greater than Eli's box. Which means that Ming's is going to cost the most. It's going to cost more. All right, so now let's go over to what the answer choices are at. Okay, so keeping that in mind, I'm going to fold this paper in half here so that you can see it. All right, Ming's costs less. No, we already said that it's going to cost more, so that's not a right answer. Ming's and Eli's costs are the same. No, because Ming's box is larger than Eli's box, so that's not a true statement. C, Eli's cost is greater because his box has greater volume. No, because Eli's box is less than Ming's box. So that's not a true answer. Ming's cost is greater because her box has greater volume, and that's a true statement. So you had to make sure that you were labeling everything. Ming has the greater volume box, and because the greater volume box, it's going to cost more. Good job. All right, let's do this last problem and we're done for the evening. Angela is lining the bottom of some cabinet drawers with paper. All right, I've done this. Ask your mom if she's ever put lining on the bottom of the drawers in the kitchen or maybe in the bathroom. How much paper will she need to cover the bottom of the 3 drawers? Oops, okay, we have 3 drawers there. So I'm going to look at here. I'm going to kind of shade this in because this is the bottom of the drawer. Even though we have the height of it, this is 6 rows high, we don't need to worry about that. We're looking at the bottom. So we're going to look for the area. Area equals length times width. This is the base area. I'm going to put base area. So I have 16 times 10. Well, 6 times 1 is 16. Or 16 times 1 is 16. And then I have 1 0. So the area equals 160, right, square centimeters. But that's not the answer because I have 3 drawers. This is just for 1 drawer. So I'm going to cross that one out because that's not right. So I'm going to multiply that by 3. 3 times 0 equals 0. 3 times 6 is 18. Regroup my 1. 3 times 1 is 3 plus 1 is 4. So the answer is B, 480 square centimeters is what they're going to be needing. And that was it for today. All right, you guys have a great evening. Remember, get some rest. We're going to be testing tomorrow. You have map testing. Bring your headphones if you're using headphones for your test. You need your pencil. You're going to be getting some scrap paper, also some grid sheets if you're needing that. So make sure that you get some rest. You'll be turning in your homework on Wednesday. Y'all take care.